Hi guys, today this video is a bit different because I watch one video non-subtitles, okay, non-subtitles. I listening, watch the people say and speak with you in Portuguese, okay, no subtitles, only listening. Okay, I'm watching, but only listening. No subtitles. No subtitles. Okay, let's go.
Who is Toad? What is Toad?
Okay.
Where?
No subtitles.
Who is Toad? What is Toad? Where is Toad?
Who is Toad? What is Toad? Where is Toad? Quem é Toad? Toad é um personagem do Super Mario Bros. Quem é Toad? O que é Toad? Where Toad? Onde está Toad?
How is Toad? These are the questions.
How?
Who is Toad? What is Toad? Where is Toad? How is Toad?
How is Toad? Como está Toad?
These are the questions that perhaps nobody ever dared to ask, but
This
who is Toad? What is Toad?
this is difficult, okay?
Where is Toad? How is Toad? These are the questions that perhaps nobody
This is a question. Essa é o questionamento
ever dared to ask, but I will. Starting
que ninguém teve, mas eu tive, tá ligado?
with who Toad is and where is he from, and then moving into the socialization and the culture of the Toad
Ok.
species, and then we'll get into the biology and the anatomy of Toad. And for the record, I am talking about the Toads from Mario. Thank you so much, Google AI. Now, Toad is a bit of a loose term because it actually refers to the name of a species. The mushroom people that make up Mushroom Kingdom are a population of toads. So Toad is Toad, but Toad is also a toad. The same way that you would say this
I don't understand nothing.
is Yoshi, but this is also a Yoshi. You might think that's a little weird because in real life we don't have any humans named Human, but that's not true. If we go back in time a little bit, a lot bit,
We'll go back in time. Vamos voltar ao tempo, né?
the biblical name for Adam, who's the
Ok, eu entendi. É que, tipo assim, ela tava falando que o Toad é vários, mas é um. Tipo assim, todo mundo aqui no... Somos humanos, eu e você. Só que eu sou o Mario e você é alguém aí, entendeu? Igual o Yoshi. O Yoshi tem vários Yoshis no Super Mario, né? Só que cada Yoshi é pra alguma coisa. Ah, entendeu?
first human on Earth, according to a lot of major religions, is also human, but that's not true. If we go back in time
Mas isso não é verdade. Aí eu go back time. Vamos voltar ao
a little
tempo.
bit, a lot bit, the biblical
Pouco ou muito.
name for Adam, who's
O nome bíblico Adão, Adam.
the first human on Earth, according to a lot of major religions,
Primeiro homem que nasceu na Terra, de acordo com as religiões.
is also the Hebrew word for human.
It's horse, okay?
Major religions is also the Hebrew word
Also,
for human. In the Hebrew Bible, the word Adam is used as both a name for the first person and then also a name collectively for the human species. So it's actually not that weird that Toad is both singular and plural. And this
singular and plural, singular e plural.
is something that we just know Nintendo
Eu tô viciada em legenda, tá ligado? Se você para pensar dessa forma.
really likes to do. But the first time that we saw
Really likes to do coisas que você realmente vai fazer.
Toad was in 1985 in Super Mario Bros. But he didn't really have
Toad was 1985 and Super Mario. Então, quando apresentou ele foi em 1986 no Super Mario.
an individual name, and he was just referred to as one of the many mushroom retainers. Since then, the word has gotten changed to mushroom people, so, you know, perhaps mushroom retainers is a little bit insensitive now.
She is speaking faster. Okay. Or my mind is slow.
A little outdated. Toad has since appeared to some capacity in over 60 Mario games. Mario Party, of course, Mario Galaxy, my
Mario Galaxy, Mario Fire.
beloved Mario Tennis. He's a little uncanny valley in that one. Time and time again, we see this character, we see these mushroom people, so where do they come from? Toads are mostly native to Toad Town, which is the
Da onde que ele vem?
capital of Mushroom Kingdom. That's the kingdom that Princess Peach rules over, and it's where most of the
O reino do cogumelo, da Princesa Peach.
Super Mario Bros. Games take place. We have seen Toad Town in a number of different games, and it's always looked
Números diferentes de jogos.
pretty different, probably because it wasn't originally created by Nintendo, but it was from this Japanese anime. The title translates to The Great Mission to Rescue Princess Peach. That anime gave us Toad Town, but it also turned Toad into this, like, whimsical feminine handmaiden.
Ok, antigamente ela, pelo menos no desenho, era uma menina. Uma female.
It's cute, I guess, you know, possibly some undertones
É fofo, eu acho. É provavelmente.
of misogyny, but you can also see that Luigi has some different colors going on than he does now. So it's definitely not canon, but it did give us the precedent for what the society and town of Toads can look like. And it's pretty much just a bunch of mushrooms. I think that explains
Muitos cogumelos.
why Toad Town has gone to look so different in so many different games. It never had that original design to grow and build off of, so instead it's just been super inconsistent. The first time that we could explore a true Toad society was in
A primeira vez que de explorar a sociedade do Toad.
Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars.
Super Mario RPG.
But it was pretty sparse. It wasn't called Toad Town yet, and it didn't really have a lot of life to it until we saw the same thing in Paper Mario. This is the first time that we see the name Toad Town, and this place is thriving.
Essa é a primeira vez que eu vi a palavra Toad Town na cidade de Toad.
We have a dojo here, a restaurant, a bar, a ton of
Toad here. Tinha muitos Toads em restaurantes, como é?
same thing in Paper Mario. This is the first time that we see the name Toad Town, and this place is thriving. We have a dojo
We have.
here, a restaurant, a
Nós temos Toad aqui,
ton of
restaurante,
shops, a lot
em compras, né? Mercados.
more homes. In terms of liveliness, like, this became the new standard for what Toad Town should at least feel like. We go on to see this in Super Mario Galaxy, other Paper Mario games, the Mario. But in all of its different forms, Toad Town does consistently tell us that toads are smart, and they kind of function similar to humans. They can operate shops, run businesses, and exchange currency, and they function under the monarchy and law of Princess Peach, since Toad Town is always the town that's going to be right next to Peach's castle, which technically means that Mario's circuit from Mario Kart Wii is Toad Town. I don't know if there's, like, some cultural erasure happening with the name there. That's a bit messed up. In Mario Circuit, or Toad Town Circuit as I'm gonna call it, you get to see all kinds of different species come as they visit Toad Town. And that's true for Toad Town in pretty much any game. It always acts as this plaza for tourism, which is really cool, and I think that that says something about the welcoming nature of toads. There's actually a lot that I could say about that, because, I mean, what is the behavior of a toad?
How is behavior of Toad? Qual é o comportamento sobre o Toad?
Are they kind? Are they welcoming? We will
Are they kind? Are they welcoming? Eu não sei se kind é bondade.
answer all of those burning questions, but first we have to talk about something a little bit more important, which is today's sponsor.
Primeira coisa, vamos falar de uma coisa mais... Primeira, First time. Primeira vez, vamos falar de uma coisa mais importante. Coursera, not my sponsor, ok?
Coursera. Are they welcoming? We will answer all of those burning questions, but first we have to talk about something a little bit more important, which is today's sponsor.
Vamos pular que isso aqui é anúncio. Aqui.
So, what is the behavior or the psychology that goes into the minds of these toads? We know that they, romp. So much Coursera for sponsoring, and let's get back to talking about Toad. So, what is the behavior or
What is behavior? Qual que é o seu comportamento?
psychology
Qual que é a sua psicologia? Tá ligado?
that goes into the minds of these toads? We know
O que funciona na mente do Toad?
that they, romp around in their little toad towns and wherever Mario might take them. In any Super Mario Bros. Games, toads are always these kind of scared little guys. When Bowser breaks into Peach's castle, or really any threat seems present, they run around and panic. In Super Mario Galaxy, Toad Town is victim to what can really only be described as a terrorist attack. Bowser decides to attack the civilian population of toads, which is, I think, a war crime, I believe. But thankfully, terrorism does put on display the anxious nature of these toads for us to study. They run in circles, they bump into each other, they're put in these moments of danger that they realistically can escape, but they just don't really have it in them to do it. That is exactly why toads are seen as these pretty peaceful creatures. They're very non-violent, because what are they gonna do? The Toad trophy that you can even get in Super Smash Bros. Brawl even describes Toad as giving off a strong sense of peace. They are
Forte senso de paz, strong sense of peace.
consistently on the good side of the Mario story, and they're unwaveringly loyal to Princess Peach. There are a few exceptions
Lealdade, né?
to the rule of toads being scared. You have Captain Toad in Super Mario Galaxy, who's pretty adventurous, and then the Toad Brigade, the little Boy Scout army. It's also theorized that the color of the toad might indicate its personality. We see this a little bit in Paper Mario. The orange and yellow toads tend to be more brave and adventurous. The purple ones generally deliver mail or they give Mario hints. The green ones are usually more happy and more talkative. I personally don't find a lot of validity in that theory just because we don't really see those color-based roles anywhere.
Tá, então ela tá falando aqui que é baseado na... É uma teoria, né? Que é baseada nas cores do Marshmallow. Nas cores deles. Um tem o roxo, é mais festivo, o verde é mais tranquilo, mais gente boa, tá ligado?
Where outside of Paper Mario, and even then it's not super strong correlation, but
Uma correlação não tão forte.
still a possibility to consider. When I was researching for this video, I came across this form of someone asking what everyone's favorite toad color is. So if nothing else, I'm at least happy to report that pink is the #1 toad color of choice. That's really nice information there. Personally, I'd have to go with red, but to each their own. I would say genetics is probably responsible for the color of the toads. In Super Mario RPG, we see this toad family that's made up of a pink toad and a blue toad, so naturally their first child is also pink, and that makes sense genetically. You have dominant genes, recessive genes, that checks out. The sibling of the pink child is green. If you mix pink and blue, you don't ever get green. This could
Tá. Rosa e azul não fazem verde.
tell us that, infidelity is not a crime in
Vamos falar que infidelidade aqui não é um crime.
Toad Town, or it just, let's just say that genetics maybe isn't responsible for the color. But genetics, I think, does make the most sense because in the early Mario games, we'd only really ever see red toads, then we saw blue, and then we started to see more colors. So I would say that there's a clear timeline of evolution happening there. There's probably a mutation at some point, and then as the timeline goes on, we get more and more colors. That makes sense to me.
Tá, mutações para... Por conta de mutações foram feitas mais marshmallows. Marshmallows é foda. Ai, cogumelos, pô.
You start with the primary colors, and then the more breeding happens, the more colors you get. While we're on the topic of genetics and breeding, we're going to talk about the biology of these creatures. Because I think that the anatomy of Toad and just the biology of how their body works is one of the most interesting things about them. Toads have very tiny feet, they have pretty round bodies, and then their mushroom head. which, by the way, is in fact part of their head. It's not a hat. This was confirmed by the producer of Super Mario Odyssey. In Mario Strikers Charged, we can actually see the skeleton of Toad when he's electrocuted. And from this, you can see that the mushroom head doesn't actually have any bone in it, so it's not a skull. It's probably cartilage, if not actually mushroom. And when we study the skeleton a bit more, we can actually deduce a few things that aren't as obvious from looking at the outside. There's a really wide rib cage here, which could mean good lung capacity for swimming, but it also...
Tá, pra hoje tá bom esse vídeo, cara. Tá bom demais. Eu percebi que eu preciso fazer mais listening sem legenda. Porque quando eu tenho legenda e eu leio ali, eu consigo pegar o contexto muito mais fácil. Mas beleza, eu vou treinar. Eu vou treinar mais vezes assim. Sem legenda nenhuma. Só o contexto lá que a pessoa tá falando. E aí eu vou... Vai ficar bom, cara. Vai ficar bom. É isso aí. Vou abandonar agora. Tchau.